something else that I kind of wanted to touch on with this conversation is this idea of my body, my choice.
Hmm.
I want to dig into that for a second.
Yeah.
First of all, let me say this: I understand where it comes from.
Right.
I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I do. I'd be lying if I didn't say I don't understand where the mantra comes from.
Right. Like if, especially if we have the perspective that life begins at first breath, or it's
Yes.
just a clump of cells. This is a side effect of having sex,
Hmm.
and my body is changing. I have a right to body. Don't legislate my body. It is my decision. And
I get it.
everything. Yeah, I get that.
Absolutely. But I guess where I take issue with the mantra is when it comes to its practice.
Yeah, I think that's
Um,
really interesting.
yeah, when it comes to how it's lived out.
Mm-hmm.
For example, uh, does my body, my choice apply to drug and alcohol abuse?
Typically, no. We try to help people who have an addiction,
Hmm.
especially if it's something very, very serious,
E-
like heroin or
we even try to help them against their will at times.
yeah, with like interventions.
Hmm.
Yeah.
We try to make them go get help,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um, does my body, my choice apply when people want to, and for the sake of YouTube, I'll say when people want to self terminate? Does it apply then? And in my experience, it does not,
Mm-hmm.
because if someone goes on social media, or if I'm driving down the street and I look up and I see somebody standing on top of a building about to jump,
Yeah, you're gonna call the police.
I'm not just call the police. I'm going to do everything I can to try to get that person not to do it.
Right.
I'm going to
Right.
stand. I'm going to literally try to physically hinder this person from exercising their choice with their body.
And actually, to take it further into a legality standpoint, how our society has mentioned it, if you are in counseling or you go to a counseling center and you tell them that I don't feel safe legally, they can't let you leave because you are actually a danger to yourself.
I find that to be interesting, though.
And so if you tell them, and they'll interview you, and well, I don't think interviewing is the right word,
Sure.
but they'll talk to you and walk you through some things. They'll ask you if you have a plan. They'll ask you what your intentions are, and if you hit the three main questions that they're looking for, and you seem like a danger to yourself, legally they have to hospitalize you. For I think it's a minimum of a 72-hour hold, but typically it's more like 5 to 7 days. You literally hold someone hostage, and that's and again I say that just to give frame of reference. I do think mental health is extremely important,
Right.
and if you are having these sort of difficulties, you should get help.
Absolutely.
But I think it's specifically just to frame it in the concept: why doesn't my body, my choice work in that scenario?
Exactly, and that's what I'm getting at is when I look at its practicality, I see so many inconsistencies. I don't allow my child to exercise her choices with her body. As a 10-month-old, if I do that, she may or may not live to see one.
She's gonna touch that stove every time.
She's
It's
gonna touch
shiny
that
and
stove.
bright.
She's gonna try to climb this top of the
Yeah.
staircase. She's gonna try to come down the staircase. She's gonna stick that fork in the outlet.
Sure.
And so if I don't physically hinder her from exercising choices with her body,
Mm-hmm.
she can be a very serious danger to herself, not just physically, but even emotionally.
Mm-hmm. And I think another big one that I think is really ironic with the hypocrisy is just a year ago, maybe even less than that, you were not allowed to say my body, my choice when it came to the vaccine.